don't wanna go, so I'd like to know if you wanna go with me all alone. I know where we're going, nothing is known. 'Cause see, in this life I need you. I want you beside me now, with your arms around me now. Sometimes it is hard, right out in the yard, oh the terrible parts. By the end of the day, all this falls away, all that I can say. 'Cause I see you in this life, I need you. I want you beside me now, with your arms around me now. In the morning cold, you do wake up slow. When I get up quick, make the kettle click. And I know I do sometimes annoy you, but you know it's true that I adore you. Would you rub my back if I sang you to sleep? Would you hold my name like your heart so sweet? Would you keep me up if gravity's not enough? Will you be there till the end? I know that I will. When you go away, gotta go and play. Till the end of the day, till I hit the hay. And I'm alone, and you're all at home. I'm a lonely one, always on the run. Would you rub my back if I sang sleep? Would you hold my name like your heart so sweet? Would you keep me up if gravity's not enough. Will you be there till the end? You're killing our spaces, knowing now that I'm not alone, and you are around, and I have 49 places all lined up while I'm stumbling round with a spilling cup, singing, facing another way that I am knowing that the love can't stay. And we're out down by the water, singing our songs, my darling, the loving sun's going down. Cuffed up in my ways, and I know you, but I know myself like I know you too. And I see a lot of faces just like ours, and they're going fast, and they're speeding cars rolling, facing another way that I am knowing that the love can't stay. And we're out down by the water, singing our songs, my darling, the loving sun's going down. Oh, there it goes. Oh, fast and slow. Facing another. Down the road that used to take us home, overgrown, passing trails from days gone by. No one lives